How would you like to be able to discover what your aWeber readers think of your content? This is a fairly simple process. You just need to go into some of the areas that most of us don't go to because we don't use aWeber's full potential. So here's what we would like our readers to see. This is an email message that's come to the reader in HTML form. I didn't put any graphics in here because I wanted it to load fast, and I also wanted to keep the coding and mistakes down to a minimum. If you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see this section right here where you put in your ratings for the usefulness of the message. When the reader gets to this point, what they can do is choose one of these options. It will take them directly to a thank you page, and you can get more comments from them if you desire to by using this form that's provided below. I mentioned earlier that I was going to provide the code for you. At the end of the video, I'll give you a location where you can go to get the files that you need. That file will include a readme.txt, which will explain to you how we went through the installation process and what you need to change. It will give you the thank you page for the message. It will give you the code that you need to actually send the message from your server, and it will give you a CAPTCHA that you can use to make sure that you prevent spam. I'll also provide for you these two images so that you can use those as the basis from which to develop your own. Please notice that if you don't want to have any more comments for them or solicit comments, you can go through here and delete anything from this part down and it will still work. What we're going to end up with then in aWeber is a page that looks like this, so that you can look at how many people rated it. You can see how many people opened the message, and then you can see what kind of rating they gave to email that you're looking at. Let's look at these pages briefly so you can see how you can install these files that I've given to you. This is the README text file. It gives you some basic instructions and tells you about the two files where you're going to need to edit some settings. One of them is the thank you page and the other one is the mailer page. If you don't have a whole lot of experience in moving things around or changing URLs, if you have little to no experience in doing web work, then what I suggest to you is that you take these files and you put them in the web root so you don't have to go through and change any of the internal workings of the files other than what I'm going to tell you. The first page that you're going to look at is the thank you page. You see here the section where I've actually put down the two images that I've given you and what folder they are in. If you have an images folder and you want to put some or use some of the images out of that, you can change that right here as long as you have the path to go to the files. Please understand that you need to then change the width and the height to match the images that you're going to use on your page. What this does is it allows the page to be laid out and load faster because it doesn't have to put a placeholder in for each image and then go back and figure out what the image sizes are as they load. It will know that ahead of time and be able to put the images in. I have done my best to try to make this as simple as possible. You see it says change the image path here, and this is the section where you can delete the comment form that's actually on the page, and you can delete all the way down to this section right here. And if you delete from this point up to where it gives you the instructions on how to do it, you'll take out that contact form that's on the page. Here's some of the things you need to change in the mailer.php file. I put in a section here and a section here that tells you what you need to change, which is this one little line right here. Just enter the email address you want these comments to go to and save this file. The code we're going to be using in the aWeber message is going to look like this. What you need to do is, once you have designed your message, this is the code that we're going to enter into the aWeber form that will make all this magic work. What you need to do is to figure out where you're going to put the files. Replace yoursite.com in all 5 of these lines and point to where the thank you page is actually going to be. This is the portion right here that does the heavy lifting on how to get the code into aWeber so that it will know. You may change this part right here, rating 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, with any rating system you want to add to that. So now what we'll do is we'll come over to aWeber and actually create the message that we want to send out. You can create either a broadcast message or you can create a follow-up message. Here in the body text, I'm just going to type in some text so that I can use it as a placeholder. When I first started working with HTML code, it was hard for me to switch back and forth between a visual editor and the code. So what I did generally was just to put a placeholder here so that when I flipped over to the source code, I would understand where that needed to go. We're going to go to this message. We're going to highlight the code from here to here. You don't want to copy anything above this line because it will not look good in your message. Right click, hit copy, or use Control C. Come back to this section, highlight where you put the placeholder, and then use Control V to paste your code in. Now when you go back to the design section, here's what you're going to have. You'll have this rating scheme here, and you'll be asking your reader exactly what they think of this message. Notice these are hyperlinks based upon the rating that we had assigned earlier. If you want to, you can use graphics here. Just use it as an image and put the link to the same link to the rating that you had before. I also think you need to understand that this does not work in the plain message section. It's only possible to do this with an HTML message. Now what you want to do is save your message. So now the message has been saved, and what we're going to do is send a test to ourselves to make sure that the system works. I'm going to use my Gmail account here because I know that it will arrive there quickly. You send the test. So here's what I covered today. I looked into one of the lesser used aspects of aWeber that allows you to determine what your readers are thinking about the content that you give to them. The process is fairly straightforward. What you have to do is build a thank you page. I'll provide you the code for that. You add code to your broadcast or follow-up messages. You test it twice or more, and then you glory in the statistics that you get back from aWeber so you can help hone your content, make a better sales pitch, or know more about what your readers are looking for. Thanks for watching.